Welcome to Midlife Unlimited Life for Five, or thereabouts. I'm your host, Kate Porter, the Midlife Metamorphosis Coach, and I'm delighted to be joined by my episode 53 guest, the wonderful Eimear Draper, founder of Kindling dating coach, and Platinum Magazine's dating expert. More of that later on. To give a taste of our full-length episode that's out now, wherever you listen to your podcast, and what else would it be about? How to date again as a midlife woman. So welcome, Eimear. It is
Thank
fabulous to
you.
have you here.
Lovely to be here. Thank you.
Right now, obviously, we're chatting. It's Halloween tomorrow, but this video will be out there forever now. Um, what can be scarier though than anything Halloween is the stories we tell ourselves really about
Yeah.
dating again. And there are so many reasons why at this time we might be thinking about it, and there's no right or wrong, is there? But we might be thinking, I Christmas on my own, it's getting closer, and it's that could be
Yeah.
scary as well, can't it? So it's quite a pivotal time now, isn't it? End of October.
Yeah, it's a great time for getting yourself out there because there's lots of events on. There's lots of like just after work drinks, even if you don't, you know, you're not planning a big night out or anything, you could just pop down to the pub around the corner from work and sit at the bar and see what happens. Not necessarily that you're going to get chatted up, but you might talk to somebody. It might spark some curiosity. Everybody, I think, is hungry for connection.
Mm.
Whether they're single or not, I think people need more connection right now. And yeah, it's a great time of year because just everyone's a bit happier and jollier and possibly stressed, but possibly that leads us to having a bit of a effort mentality, which can also lead to some fun. So why not?
Well, I
So
think
yeah,
that's one thing that obviously there are so many golden nuggets in our episode, and we share a bit about our backstories as well because we are both historically dated online and met our partners, didn't we? But obviously things have changed, well, a hell of a lot since my day.
yeah.
But it's not, I mean, we kind of not we, but everyone goes online dating, but that's just part of the whole puzzle, isn't it? And I say puzzle
Yeah.
in a good way. It's not, I mean, as you say, we can almost get fixated about online dating when in
Yeah,
actual fact,
absolutely.
getting off our backsides and getting out there
Yeah,
is
yeah.
almost more important, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the key, well, one, you kind of start with yourself of like, what do you want and believing that you can
Yeah.
get it. And then, as you would with anything else in life, if you've decided you want something, you take action to make it happen. And I think in dating, we can be really passive because we're like, oh, it depends on who comes along, what happens, if I meet somebody, blah, blah, blah. But actually, if you are clear about what you want and you're intentional in your actions to find it, yes, online dating is great because it opens up a pool of people. You can get out on dates and you can see how you feel and you learn a lot even from the bad dates. But also go to events. There's so many more singles events now, or not even, you don't have to do like singles ones. It can be just meet people ones. Like there's Sunday Paper Live, there's time left for dinner on midweek with strangers. There's, the offline club. There's so many
They
things
sound
on.
fabulous.
Yeah,
We'll,
really
we'll
good.
be giving your contact details at the end of this, and obviously they're on the show notes for our episode that's available wherever you listen to your podcast. But it is about thinking outside the box slightly, maybe as well, isn't it? And saying yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if somebody asks you to theater, go. If you if there's something that you want to see in the theater and nobody's can is free to go, you go on your own. My friend got chatted up at theater the other weekend when her partner was
Oh,
away. She was like, "Oh, I didn't realize this is what was happening," but it was. And it's just I do think we just need to be brave and just out there taking action, see what happens, and lean into your network as well. Like quite often when we're single, if people ask us, oh, are you married or what? We go, oh, no, no. And we just shut the conversation down. Or, if somebody
yeah.
asks you, are you open to meeting somebody? We're like, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. And, we're just like, there's kind of a stigma around it sometimes. And actually,
Mm.
so much nicer just to be loud and proud. I'm like, yeah, I'm single at the moment. I've got a lovely life, but I would love to meet somebody to add to that. And then that just not necessarily, it might spark that they know somebody, then they meet somebody at a networking thing that's like, oh, I'd love to meet somebody. And then they go, oh, actually, maybe. And they set you up on a blind date. But also, it's just sending this open energy out into the universe. And that brings good things
Mm.
back. So, like, the
Oh,
more we can do that. So, I always say, kind of three-pronged approach: online, get out and about to events, and use your network.
No,
So it's
absolutely.
not
But
just all,
start off with figuring out who we are. And this can
yeah.
be, I mean, whether you've lost a long-term partner to, bereavement or divorce, or just it's fizzled out, or you've been surrounded by kids and now suddenly the house is
Mhm.
empty, good old empty nesting. Starting with us, I mean, it sounds straightforward, but this can be a time, can't it, to actually take that
Yeah,
step
yeah,
and
yeah,
think, who am I? Because
yeah.
chances are you've been with that partner maybe since uni, since school, for God's sake. And now here we are, 40s, 50s, 60s, thinking, who are we and what do we want?
Yeah, absolutely. And it does sound simple to start looking inside and exactly how to define what we are and who we want. But actually, I think it's the step that most of us miss because
No,
it's quite confronting, and it's much
we've got to think,
easier to
oh, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Yeah.
yeah, and also I think like you can say I'm dating and you download an app and you sit there just getting into a negative spiral of dismissing absolutely everybody. And then you have this, villain that you can put all the blame on, that it's the app's fault, it's the modern dating scene's fault, there's nothing wrong with me. And we can distract and never do the let me actually look inside and see what is true for me. And it's not as scary as it sounds. It
No,
can sometimes be a little bit confronting because we do all have old stories that we're holding on to that are blocking us. And it's the trick is finding them and getting rid of them. And
yeah.
that's where the coaching is really good because it gives that kind of supportive hand that you're not on your own doing it. You will, through my group coaching, you'll meet other people that are the same as you. And
Mm,
that can be quite interesting as well, because as much as you can sit there going, well, I'm fine, I'm perfect, it's not my fault, you'll look at somebody else and you'll see what they're doing. And then suddenly you
yeah.
go, oh, actually, hold up. I do that.
Because it is very different, isn't it? I mean, obviously, I'm not, hopefully, Scott, I'm not about to start dating again. But I mean, I know it's not about a wish list, but we do have probably an idea, but it could be preconceived things that actually aren't really what we
Yeah,
need or want now.
yeah.
And it's probably a good time to actually not say, right, he's got to be 6'2" at least, he's got to have this, all his own teeth, da, da, da. But in doing that, in being too rigid, we could miss out on a really fabulous guy or girl that just because they're not our typical type,
Yeah, yeah,
because what
absolutely.
we want now, I mean, we may not be looking for wham bam, thank you, ma'am, 24 hours a day. We might be looking for friendship with benefits or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but another thing as well that we touch on, well, we actually go quite deep into, is having the conversation with kids, with friends as well, because that's something to bear in mind, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that becomes easier when you know why you're doing it. You know why you want
Yeah.
to introduce somebody into your life. And, you know, ultimately it's you are the master of your life, right? And yes, we can fall into people pleasing, and particularly as women, particularly as mothers, we put everybody else's needs first. But there does come a point where you have to put your own needs first. And it's not selfish. And it's, as long as you're opening that conversation and listening to what is coming back, and then you guys can use that as a conversation to build on of like,
Mm,
how do we make everyone feel comfortable with this? It's not just, well, I'm doing this, get over it. Um, but I do think it's quite important because, particularly with children, they model what they're seeing. It's not necessarily your words. Like we can be standing up there saying, oh, don't ever be a people pleaser and you have to look after yourself and la 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 la. But if we're there just letting everyone walk all over us and never putting our needs first, then they're never gonna know what it looks like to do that. And you wouldn't want your children to do that. So, it's healthy to have this kind of I'm the adult, actually, and
yeah.
this is what is needed for my life. And I would like you to be on board. So let's make it possible that way. And it's healthy for them to see a fully rounded person who has all facets of life, including romance.
Mm.
And it does seem to be the one facet of life that we can quite easily cut off because it just feels scary. And there's so much scaremongering and negative stories out there. But that
I
like
think you do so much during our conversation to smash those stereotypes and bust those myths. But another thing that we do talk about, which I think is so important, is the old P word, the old procrastination. And we do so much work, all of us. We kind of think, no, we mustn't procrastinate. We ditch the shoulds. Be like, when in our own personal self-care, in our business life, whether our business, whether we're still in corporate, whether we've got our own businesses. But when it comes to dating, I can imagine that waiting to feel, oh, I don't feel ready yet, or
Yeah.
waiting for that, oh, he or she looks nice, but they're not quite right. They're not.
No.
No, it ain't gonna come. Perfection ain't
Yeah.
gonna come. You're
Yeah.
never
You're
gonna
never gonna
feel
feel
ready.
ready.
No.
Never.
So now I say, with the Christmas countdown on, and yes, I did use that big C word. I haven't got my Santa hat on just yet. Just think, if you are inspired today by our chat, you go and listen to the full length episode, which is packed with information.
Yeah.
You go and pick up this month's Platinum magazine. We'll have a word in a minute about
Yeah.
that. Read Eimear's advice there.
Oh,
Just think
I've got to
the
actually.
steps you could take, in the next days and weeks. And we're not talking
Mm.
about, we're not saying you're going to be married by Christmas. You may not want to be, but it's just shaking things up a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
It's just
over to you. Obviously,
opening.
all your, yeah, opening doors, opening your mind.
Yeah. 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 Platinum, this month's Platinum is out with Claudia on the front of
Oh, the
it.
lovely Claudia. I'll say, dig out May's
And
edition as well, because I'm in that. My
yeah.
how to ditch the guilty pleasures. That's my article I wrote for Platinum back in May. But I say all your contact details are in the show notes for our episode, and you've got your guest profile on the Midlife Unlimited podcast website.
Yeah.
But can you just talk viewers through how they can connect with you and anything you've got coming up as well?
Yeah, so I'm on all the usual social channels. The easiest way is probably go to my website, which is Kindling Dating. You can book in an intro call with me there, and we can have a chat and see how I can help. I also have a dating blockers quiz, so you can just take a quick quiz, and it gives you an idea of where maybe there's a mindset block. Whether that is, I'm trying to protect my heart and I'm living in fear, or it's I'm not over an ex, or I'm in perfectionist mode, or I'm overwhelmed and I just don't have time for dating. And then there's an audio series to help you start unblocking that. Yeah, and you can work with me one-to-one or group coaching. My next group is starting next week on Tuesday, November 4th. And I'd love to have anyone join because we already
Take
have a
that
really nice
step.
crew
Absolutely.
in there. And I think, yeah, there's already a good bunch in there, and I think it's going to be a fun one this time because there's a nice mix of people. So yeah, you can do all the self-reflection, but with a little helping hand and a lot of laughs along the way. The group ones are always fun.
That makes it even better, doesn't it? Because I say it's all about having that ability. It's not you, it's them. Having the ability to laugh at yourself, prepare for rejection, because it's I said
Part of the
dating
process.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's oh no, I'm not jealous because I'm very much in love. But I think if you're thinking about it, if you've been pondering, go and get in touch with Eimear now. And if you
Hmm.
want to just shake up things, come and get in touch with me as well. Obviously, I've got my midlife metamorphosis coaching. There's a special offer on the website, and podcasting. I love it. Midlife Unlimited is almost a year old. Can you believe it? 5th of December. So come and join my school community. It's free. Pop your podcast cherry and watch this space for some one-to-one offers coming up as well to help you unleash your expert so that you become the podcast guest that everyone wants on their show. And if you've been procrastinating about launching your podcast, get in touch. We're going to get this done. So, Eimear, thank you so much for being part of Midlife Unlimited. I'm so excited. I'm feeling love is in the air. I'm going to start singing in a minute.
Definitely. Time to
Yeah,
start watching
you
Love
go and have.
Actually.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Oh, we're going to do a little rom-com. We're going to do a little Christmas rom-com, the Midlife Unlimited Christmas rom-com. Yeah, go and check out Eimear's website. Get in touch. Go and listen to our full-length episode. Thank you for joining me to give a little taste of our full-length episode. Here's to being fabulous and flourishing together. Here's to dating, and here's to living Midlife Unlimited. Thanks ever so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.